Hi, I'm Caroline Gau in the Baird and Warner Glenbrook office, and today I'm delighted to speak momentarily with Tensley Garris. She's the president of the Northbrook Chamber, and we get a lot of questions about what's going on in our local businesses. So Tensley, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's my pleasure.
So we hear a lot about national news and unemployment numbers and what's happening with small businesses struggling around the country. Can you give us some insight into what's happening with the local businesses that you partner with here in Northbrook?
Well, I would certainly say that locally, what's going on locally reflects kind of the national trends. It kind of runs the gamut. There are businesses that are essential services that are part of the supply chain that are doing okay. And then there are businesses like salons and nail shops that are shut down, that of course are, they're in real trouble. And then there's all the other businesses that kind of fill in. Northbrook is kind of unique in terms of being a North Shore suburb in the fact that there is so much diversity in our business community. We have an ample supply of restaurants and retailers, but we also have a segment of manufacturers and what I would call industrial types of businesses that sort of round us out. And that makes us a little bit different than some of the other shore communities.
So the Chamber offers a lot of virtual networking and training. What kind of challenges are you hearing during these meetings that the small businesses are reaching out to you for help with?
At the Chamber, our core operations were putting people together, and typically that occurred, they were in the same room, they shook hands, they got to know each other. So we've had to kind of flip the switch and really turn to these virtual networking sessions, but they have been invaluable in helping our businesses adapt. It's an opportunity for them to brainstorm when they're struggling with a challenge, whether it be a marketing technique for current circumstances, or whether it's just helping getting other professionals to help an entrepreneur think through his whole process. So they really have been very valuable. I've seen different marketing strategies that have come out, such as some of the signs that you see on the restaurants where, yes, they're open. That was part of a marketing discussion that occurred at one of the virtual networking programs. They've helped connect businesses with the supplies that they need. For instance, hand sanitizer. We've have a couple of our members that have kind of gotten into that business with the COVID crisis. And now we're able to connect them with others that may be looking for that so they can continue to operate their business.
Interesting. So not just training, but some other just connecting of how to find the resources that they need. That's the power of the networking.
Exactly.
Too.
It's been kind of hard to see some of the small businesses, particularly some of the entrepreneurs, struggle with the business loan programs that have come out. They weren't necessarily as prepared as some of the larger operations. They didn't necessarily have the same banking relationships or the same relationships with their accountant that other larger businesses had. So again, that's the networking sessions were very valuable in helping them make some of the connections that they needed to apply for those loans.
I agree. When this whole thing started, I was looking for different resources, and some of it I just had to seek out on my own because a lot of people didn't know where to turn. So the Chamber actually turned me on to the Brad Schneider webinar. So I looked into that, and then I realized, okay, well, my bank is not, it's a big bank, but I don't have a business account, so I couldn't apply through that. So I went to the local bank in Northbrook and established an account, and I could apply through that. Still waiting, but sometimes it helps just to have some other people to brainstorm with because we don't all have the answers.
Right.
You are the planner of the popular Leadership Northbrook, of which I'm a student. So what kind of things can residents do to help support local businesses?
It's really been just so rewarding and tremendous to see the amount of support the residents have given the businesses. The minute that the restaurants were shut down, we at the Chamber immediately got phone calls from locals that wanted to know how to support those restaurants. And, the obvious way is through carryout orders, through gift card orders, and a lot of the retailers are doing some of the same things. And I think if we start there and provide those core businesses with our support, it sort of filters out to some of the others. And at no time has the term shop local meant more than it does right now. I want to remind, while right now we're talking about the impact this has had on businesses, don't forget that it's going to have an impact on your municipality. It's going to have an impact on Northbrook. A third of their budget comes from sales tax. And with the primary sales tax generators either shut down or operations cut significantly, they're not going to have the financial resources to provide some of the services that we're used to. So they're going to have to make some adjustments. Fortunately, they've always been very conservative financially, so they have quite a bit of reserves to help them through. They have, a pretty substantial rainy day fund to help us through. But again, shopping local, those tax dollars really generate benefit for you and I.
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but you're talking like fire and police and all those kinds of things too.
Yes, the schools. Who knows what the ultimate impact will be on real estate? But we're all, all of our units of government are so heavily dependent on property taxes.
So do you have any favorite websites that you could refer residents to, such as the SBA for loans, or other websites that you've been using recently for extra information?
Well, there are quite a few, particularly for businesses and that are interested. Hopefully they have this information at this particular point because they really need it. But I would definitely suggest the Small Business Administration website, which is sba.gov. The state has, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity has a tremendous resource page that includes not only information on the federal programs, but also the state programs. And that website is, wait a minute, I wrote it down, is DCEO COVID-19 resources.com. And they have a pretty comprehensive listing, again, of all of the assistance programs. The state website, illinois.gov, for those residents that might be interested in what types of programs are available, whether it's unemployment or other services that they might need, the illinois.gov website can direct them to those resources. Because I know locally, I'm sure that there are many people that have had to apply for unemployment. And certainly, if anyone, is in trouble and needs support, I would encourage them to contact the Northfield Township. They have a lot of different assistance programs and help people get through this tough time.
And I also learned about the new Cook County, what's the name of the exact?
The Cook County, it's the Community Recovery Fund.
Yes.
They, while at this particular point, the applications aren't out, you can sort of go to the county website and express interest in those programs. It's a $10 million zero interest loan fund for small businesses, and they've defined it as 25 or fewer employees. And independent contractors, that's an important element, will be eligible for this loan program.
Well, thank you so much. It helps to hear some local insight on what's going on in Northbrook, and nice to see a smiling face.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I guess I just want to leave with a positive message. We're really fortunate to be a part of Northbrook as a community. It really is a very supportive and collaborative environment here. And I know that things are tough right now, but we will get through this. And, there is a tremendous, like I said, community support system here.
I agree. I'm happy to be a resident here and to be part of the chamber. And it does help to have some other resources and people to brainstorm with. So thank you for taking a few minutes with us.
Thank you, Caroline.
Okay, take care.